class, welcome to AIMS India's live class sessions. In today's class, we'll learn about properties of integers. Properties of operations. Properties of the operations on integers. Many of you might be familiar with the properties of operation. These you might have learned about how to, you might have learned about the application of these properties on whole numbers in your previous standards. And today we learn about the application of these properties on integers. We have 6 type of properties. The first one is closure property, distributive property, commutative property, identity, associative property, and inverse. Okay class, these are the 6 type of properties which we are going to see today, and how do they apply to integers. Coming to the first one, closure property. If you look at the figure here, what is this? Here we are having a box, closed box, in which there are 3 balls. There are 3 balls, and a square from outside is a rectangle from outside is trying to enter in this box. But these circles are not allowing the rectangle to enter inside. So the rectangle is asking, why can't I come in? Why can't this rectangle enter inside the circle's box? Because it is a closed set. Sorry, we are a closed set. The reply is, sorry, we are a closed set. Like when we add 3 smileys together, what will the answer be? The answer will again be a smiley. When we add 3 smileys together, the answer will also be a smiley. In the same way, this box contains circles. So only a circle can enter inside this box. A rectangle cannot enter inside this box. This property is called as the closure property. In simple terms, if a and b are 2 integers, then a plus b, a minus b, and a into b is also an integer. What are they saying here? Because we are using a and b, which are 2 integers, then the result of their addition, subtraction, and multiplication is also an integer. This is called as closure property. When we use 2 integers, the result should also be an integer. In the same way, when we use 2 whole numbers, the result should also be a whole number. When it satisfies this condition, then the integers or whole numbers are said to be following the closure property. Coming to the first operation, we have 4 types of operations, right? Plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Coming to the first property, which is addition. Let us take 2 integers. Okay, let us take 2 integers, say 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are integers, right? When we add those 2 integers, 2 plus 3 is equal to what? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. The result 5, is it an integer? Yes, the result is also an integer. So addition of integers satisfies closure property. When we add 2 integers, the answer is also an integer. Okay class, we shall take 2 negative integers as well. When we add these 2 integers, minus 2 and minus 3, then the answer is minus 5, which is again an integer, right? So we can say that addition of integers satisfies closure property. Coming to the next operator, which is subtraction. When we subtract 2 integers, say 2 minus 3. When we subtract 2 integers, say 2 minus 3, what is the result? The result is minus 1. When we subtract 2 and 3, the result is minus 1. Why is it minus 1? Because 3 here has the higher absolute value. 3 is having the negative sign. So the result is also having a negative sign. As both the integers, when both integers are subtracted, the result is also an integer. Minus 1 is an integer, right? Yes, minus 1 is an integer. A and b are integers, and a minus b, which is equals to minus 1, is also an integer. So subtraction of integer also satisfies closure property. Clear children? Addition and subtraction both satisfy the closure property. Coming to the third one, which is multiplication. Let us take two integers, one positive and the other negative. Minus 2 into 3. Minus 2 into 3. And how do we multiply these two integers? First, let us look at the signs. One is having minus sign and the other is having positive sign. Both the signs are different. Here we are following multiplication. So when we multiply two different signs, the answer will be negative. The answer will be negative. And coming to the absolute values, 2 3s are 6. 2 3s are 6. So when we are multiplying two integers, minus 2 and 3 together, the answer we got is minus 6, which is also an integer. Isn't it? The answer is also an integer. So multiplication of integers also satisfies the closure property. Is this clear, class? Again I am saying few people are still confused between what sign is to be placed for the answer. What sign is to be placed for the answer? Always remember, for multiplication and division, when we have two different signs. For multiplication and division, one second, for multiplication and multiplication and division, when we have two different signs, like when we have a plus and a minus or a minus and a plus, then the answer will always be negative. But when we have two same signs, like two positives or two negatives, two positives or two negatives, then the answer will be positive. Is this clear? In case of multiplication and division, when the signs are different, the answer will be negative. When the signs are same, the answer will be positive. But in case of addition and subtraction, you know how to add and subtract integers, okay, that is clear. But when it comes to the sign, you can simply remember that the sign of integer with higher absolute value is given to the result. Okay, you simply remember this. The sign of integer with higher absolute value is given to the result. How means, when we add two positive integers, 2 and 3, the answer will be what? The answer will be 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now look at the higher absolute value number, it is 3. Which sign is it having? It is a positive integer, so the result will also have a positive sign. Again, when we take minus 2 and minus 3, these are two negative integers and we are adding them up. These are two negative integers and we are adding them. 2 plus 3 is 5. And again here 3 has the higher absolute value. 3 is having a negative sign. So the answer 5 will also have a negative sign. Is this clear, class? Again 3 minus 2. 3 and minus 2 plus 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is what? 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 is the higher absolute value number. It is having a positive sign. The answer will also have a positive sign. Clear, class? Look at another example, another scenario. Minus 3 plus 2. When we have one negative and positive integer. Again 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 is the higher absolute value number. It is having negative sign. So the answer will also have a negative sign. Is this clear? You simply remember this. When we add or subtract integers, then the sign of the higher absolute value integer is given to the result of addition or multiplication. It is proved. I have explained this with all the four scenarios, right? In case of two positive integers, in case of two negative integers, in case of a positive and negative integers. Clear? You simply remember this. When we add or subtract, we give the sign of the higher absolute value number to the result. And when we multiply or divide, when there are similar signs, the answer will be positive, and when there are different signs, then the answer will be negative. Clear, class? Because integers are very important, and especially Many students get confused in which sign to put to the integers, and because of that small sign your whole answer will become wrong. Okay, so please be careful. Coming to the last property here, last operation, division. Let us consider two integers 4 and 2. 4 divided by 2 is what? 4 divided by 2 is 2, because 2 2's are 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. But if we take 2 divided by 4, or let us take minus 2 divided by 4. Okay, coming to the sign, we are having different signs here. One is negative and the other is positive. So the answer will be negative. And coming to the numbers, 2 divided by 4. What is 2 divided by 4? 2 ones are 2 twos are 4. 2 ones are 2. 2 twos are 4. What will the answer be? The answer will be minus 1 by 2. Now, is minus 1 by 2 an integer? No, minus 1 by 2 is not an integer. So, division of integers does not follow closure property. Understood? Only addition, subtraction and multiplication of integers satisfy the closure property. Understood, class? What is closure property? When two integers are used, the result of their mathematical operations should also be an integer. Understood? Okay. Coming to the second property, commutative property. Look at this picture here. We are having bikes here and then we are having cycles here. Bike plus cycle should also be equal to cycle plus bike. It is like the order. Commutative property basically talks about the order. Changing the order of two numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change the value. Changing the order of two numbers that are either added or multiplied does not change the value. Here why they are specifically mentioning added or multiplied means because integers only addition and multiplication of integers satisfies commutative property. Okay, but we'll check for all the operations and we'll find out whether each of the mathematical operation follows commutative property or not. What did they say? They said that the changing the order of the numbers should not change the result. Let us take for addition, what should the equation? The equation should be like a plus b is equals to b plus a. Are you observing here? The order of integers is changed. First we wrote a plus b, and in the second equation on the right hand side we are having b plus a. So a plus b and b plus a. The answers of both a plus b and b plus a should be equal. Is it clear, class? Okay, let us take an example and see whether it is correct or not. 2 plus 3. Let us take two integers 2 and 3. What is the answer of 2 plus 3? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Now I will change the order of the integers. 3 plus 2. Now what is the answer of 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Right? LHS is equal to RHS. So addition of integers satisfies commutative property. Okay? Even though we changed the order of integers, the result is same. You can even try this with negative integers as well. Minus 2 plus 3. Okay, minus 2 plus 3 is equal to what? We are having two different signs. So we will subtract the numbers. 3 minus 2 is 1 and 3 is the higher absolute value integer. So it is positive. So the answer will also be positive. Next, 3 plus of minus 2. 3 plus of minus 2. Here again 3 plus into minus becomes minus. As the signs are different, the result is negative. Minus 2. Again 3 minus 2 is what the normal subtraction we do. 3 minus 2 is 1. See here, LHS is equal to RHS. Again we have proved that addition of integers satisfies or follows commutative property. The next operation is what? The next operation will be subtraction. for subtraction, what should the condition for satisfaction is a minus b is equal to b minus a. When we take two integers a and b, then a minus b should be equal to b minus a. Okay. Now again let us take the same two integers minus 2 and 3. A is minus 2, b is 3. So we wrote minus 2, then we are having the subtraction sign minus, b is equal to 3. Now what is the answer of minus 2 minus 3? Both the signs are same. So we are adding them up. 3 plus 2 is 5. Again 3 is the higher number. It has a negative sign. Answer will have a negative sign. Clear? Okay. B minus A. What is B? B is 3. Then the minus symbol, which is for subtraction here. What is the value of A? A is minus 2. A is minus 2. As we are having two signs here, we put it up in a bracket. Coming to the solving part, 3. About the signs here, minus into minus becomes what? Plus. 2, we are copying the 2. What is 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. 3 is the higher number which is positive, so the answer is also positive. Look at the answers here. LHS is minus 5. RHS is 5. Is A minus B equal to B minus A? A minus B is not equal to B minus A. So subtraction of integers does not satisfy the commutative property. Okay class, clear? You can try this with any different integers. Whatever the integer might be, the answer will not be the same. A minus B will not be equal to B minus A. The next operation is multiplication. Again the same numbers. A is equal to minus 2, B is equals to 3. When we say A into B, we mean minus 2 into 3. Coming to the signs, one is negative and the other is positive. So what will the result be? The result will be negative. 2 3s are 6. So the answer we got for A into B is 6. Coming to B into A, B is 3 into A is minus 2. Coming to the signs are different, so the answer will be negative. Coming to the numbers, 3 2s are 6. Now is LHS equal to RHS? Yes, LHS is equal to RHS. A into B is equal to B into A. So multiplication of divisors follows commutative property. Even if we take two negative integers, let us take minus 3 here. Let us make B as minus 3. The two signs are same, so the answer will be positive. Here also the two signs are same, so the answer will be positive. 2 3s are 6, 3 2s are 6. Again LHS is equal to RHS. So we can firmly say that multiplication of integers follows commutative property. The last operation is division. Again let us take some multiples here. A is equal to minus 2, B is equals to 4. Okay class, A by B. How do we solve A by B? Minus 2 by 4. Coming to the signs, one is negative and the other is positive. So the answer will be negative. The signs are different, answer will be negative. 2 divided by 4. How do we solve 2 divided by 4? 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. The answer is 1 by 2. Coming to B by A. B is 4 divided by A is minus 2. Again the signs are different. The answer will be negative. 4 divided by 2. 2 1s are 2. 2 2s are 4. The answer will be minus 2. Look at this here. LHS is minus 1 by 2. RHS is minus 2. Are these two equal? No. So we can say that A by B is not equal to B by A. So the division of integers does not follow commutative property. Is this clear class? What is commutative property? Even though we change the order of the integers in any mathematical operation, the answer should be the same. The answer should not differ. If the answer differs, then the operation is said to be not following commutative property. What was closure property? When we perform a mathematical operation on two integers, the result should also be an integer. The third property is associative property. Changing the grouping of numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change its value. Again, commutative property and associative property are very much similar. Excuse me. The only difference is that in case of commutative property, we have only two integers a and b. In associative property, we have three integers a, b and c. Okay, children? Both talks about changing the order or grouping of numbers. In commutative, a into b should be equal to b into a. In associative, a into b into c should be equal to a into b into c. Okay, the grouping, it is very much similar to commutative only. The only major difference is that commutative deals with two integers, associative deals with three integers. Let us understand it with the help of examples. First, for addition, the associative property should satisfy this condition: a plus of b into c. Here b plus c, here b plus c is in the brackets, right? In the RHS equation, what we'll do is, we'll change the brackets and we'll put the brackets around a plus b. Are you seeing here? The grouping is changed. First b plus c was a group, now a plus b is a group. Now what we have to prove is that even though the grouping is changed, the answer is same. Let us take the example of a is equals to 2, b is equals to 3, c is equals to minus 1. Okay class? Okay. Now a plus b plus c. 2 plus brackets open 3 plus of minus 1. As a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3 and c is equal to minus 1. Here plus into minus becomes minus. 2 plus 3 minus 1. Now what is the answer of 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1 is nothing but 2. Now what does 2 plus 2 becomes? 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Understood? 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This is our LHS. We got 4 as the answer. Coming to the RHS. 2 plus 3 plus of minus 1. A plus b plus c. What is 2 plus 3? 2 plus 3 is 5. Again plus into minus, minus 1. 5 minus 1 is what class? 5 minus 1 is 4. 5 is the higher absolute number. It has a positive sign. So the answer is also positive. Now look at both the sides. LHS is 4 and RHS is also 4. So we can say that addition of integers follows associative property. Okay. A plus of b plus c is equal to a plus b brackets close plus c. Even though we changed the groups, the result is same. Even though we changed the groups, the result is same. Moving to the next operation, which is subtraction. Again, let us take the same examples. A is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, c is equal to minus 1. Coming to the LHS side, what will it be? 2 minus, b is 3 minus, again c is minus 1. It has a sign of its own, so we are opening its bracket. Minus into minus becomes what? Minus into minus becomes plus. Then we have the number 1. What is 3 plus 1? 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 minus 4 becomes what class? As both the symbols are different, we will do a subtraction here. 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. And what about the sign? 4 is the higher number. It has the negative sign. So the answer will have a negative sign. Clear? LHS value is minus 2. Moving to the RHS. 2 minus 3 brackets close, then brackets subtraction minus 1. As 1 has a sign of its own, we are opening a bracket here. 2 minus 3 is what? The signs are different, so we'll subtract the smaller number from the larger number. 2 minus 3 is 1. 3 is the higher number which has the negative sign, so the answer will have the negative sign. Moving on, minus into minus becomes plus. Then we have the number 1. What is minus 1 plus 1? Or if we write 1 minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 is nothing but minus 1 plus 1. When we have a negative plus and positive plus 1, what is the answer? 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Now look at this. LHS answer is 2, but RHS answer is 0. LHS answer is minus 2 and RHS answer is 0. So we can say that LHS is not equal to RHS. Subtraction of integers does not follow associative property. Is this clear, class? What are we learning about? We are learning about associative property. We have done addition. Addition of integers satisfies associative property. Subtraction of integers does not follow associative property. The third operation is multiplication. Again, A is equal to 2, B is equals to 3, C is equal to minus 1. Coming to the LHS, LHS means left hand side. The equation which is on the left side of the equal to or to your left hand side. A is 2 into B is 3, again into C is minus 1. 2 into minus into plus becomes minus, 3 ones are 3. Again, two signs are different, so the answer will be negative. 2 3s are 6. Our LHS answer is minus 6. Coming to RHS, 2 into 3 brackets close into minus 1. 2 3s are what? 2 3s are 6 into minus 1. Both the signs are different, so the answer will be negative. 6 ones are 6. RHS is also 6. LHS is equal to RHS. Understood? LHS is equal to RHS. So we can say that multiplication of integers follows associative property. Is this clear? Yes. The last operation is division. Again, A is equals to 2, B is equals to 3, C is equals to minus 1. 2 by 3 divided by minus 1 is equals to again 2 by 3 whole divided by minus 1. Remember, first we should solve whatever is in the bracket. 3 by 1 becomes what? 3 by 1 becomes 3. Coming to the signs, both the signs are different, so the answer will be negative. Coming to 2 by 3. 2 by 3, we can solve the fraction part of it, but let us keep it that way. The answer will be 2 by 3. Let us keep it as, we can convert into a decimal, but for now let us keep it as a fraction only. 2 by 3. Again, divided by what? Divided by minus 1. 2 by 3 whole divided by minus 1. Now, any number divided by 1 becomes, any number divided by 1 becomes 1, the number only. Like 3 divided by 1 gave us what? 3. In the same way, 2 by 3 divided by 1 will also give us 2 by 3. Will also give us 2 by 3. And coming to the signs, numerator is positive and denominator is negative. So the final answer will also be negative. The final answer will also be negative. The answer on LHS side is minus 2 by 3 and the answer on RHS is also minus 2 by 3. Here LHS is equal to RHS. Got LHS is equal to RHS. So you might think division of integers follows associative property, but it is not the case. Here we have taken 1 as one of the integers, so we got LHS is equal to RHS, because as I said, any number divided by 1 always gives us the number as the answer, the same number as the answer. So here we got LHS is equal to RHS, but in reality associative property does not follow division of integers does not follow associative property. why I did this is that in case if suppose such questions are asked in the exam and you have taken one as the integer and you've solved it, you got LHS is equal to RHS. So you will simply tick that division of integers follows associative property. Do not do that mistake. Always cross check your answer by using another set of integers. Let us take example of A is equals to 100, okay, B is equals to 20, okay, C is equals to 5. Okay class, A is equal to 20, B is 100, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 5. Okay, I'll take one negative integer for your clarification sake. What is our condition? A by B by C is equals to A divided by B by C. Coming to the LHS, 100 divided by 20 whole divided by 5. What is minus 5? What is 100 by 20? 20 ones are 20, 25s are 100. 5 divided by minus 5. 5 ones are 5, right? 5 ones are 5. Coming to the sign, one is negative and the other is positive. So the answer will be negative. This is our LHS. Coming to the RHS, 100 divided by 20 divided by minus 5. 20 divided by minus 5. This is right? I am changing the association first. In the LHS case, we divided A by B first. But in RHS, we will divide B by C first. 100 divided by 20 by 5 is 5 ones are 5, 5 fours are 20. 4 will be our answer, and coming to the sign, one is positive and the other is negative. So the result will have a negative sign. Again 100 divided by minus 4. One is positive and the other is negative. Answer will be negative. 100 divided by 4. What is the answer of 100 divided by 4? 4 ones are 4. 4 25s are 100. 4 25s are 100. So the answer of RHS is minus 25. Look at this. LHS is minus 1. RHS is minus 25. LHS is not equal to RHS. Clear class? As we've used 1 in the previous example, we got LHS is equal to RHS. But if we take another set of integers, we do not include 1, we got LHS is not equal to RHS. No matter whatever integer I take, LHS should always be equal to RHS. As here both LHS and RHS are not same, we can say that division of integers does not follow associative property. Okay, even in your exam or whenever you have to solve such kind of problems, it is better to cross check by taking two different sets of integers. I hope this is clear. First we learnt about closure property, where when we take two integers and the result of the mathematical operations on those integers should also be an integer. Then came commutative property, wherein we took two integers and even if we change the order of integers, the result should be the same. Third one was associative property, where if we had three integers and even when we change the grouping of integers, the result should be same. The fourth one is distributive property. What does distribute means? When I say distribute, I mean, what do we mean when by distribution? We mean to distribute it. When you have two chocolates with you and I ask you to distribute among two children, what you'll do? You will give one chocolate to one child and the other chocolate to the other child, right? Distributing the chocolates between two. In the same way, in distributive property, we'll distribute an integer among two integers. Look at this here. We are having 2 into first set of blocks and second set of blocks. In the next equation, what did we do? We did 2 into the first set of blocks plus 2 into the second set of blocks. We are distributing 2 among both these blocks. I'll explain this with the help of an example. Okay, when two numbers have been added or subtracted and then multiplied by a factor, The result will be the same when each number is multiplied by the factor and the products are then added or subtracted. This sentence might feel a little bit complicated, but in actuality the meaning is quite simple. What he wants to say here is, when we have an equation like this, we can solve this in two ways. When we have a into b plus c, first we can add b and c and then multiply it with a, or we can distribute a among both the integers. We can write a into b, then we are having the plus sign, and a into c. Understood? We are having two possibilities here. First possibility is we add the integers and then multiply, or we multiply them and then add. We are multiplying them individually and then adding. Now what distributive property says is, even when they are multiplied and added and multiplied, or multiplied and added and multiplied, or multiplied and added, the result should be the same. The result should be the same. Distributive property of integers is understood as multiplication. So, multiplication over addition and subtraction. We look at multiplication with the multiplication over addition and subtraction. All addition, subtraction, multiplication are covered here. First condition is multiplication over addition. Multiplication over addition. Let us take three integers. Again, a is equal to 2, b is equals to 3, c is equals to minus 1. Okay children? Okay class? A is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, c is equal to minus 1. We will substitute in LHS. 2 into 3 plus of minus 1. A into b plus c is written as like this. Now first what should we do? We should solve the terms in the brackets. Plus into minus becomes what? Plus into minus becomes minus. Then we have 1. What is 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. 2 2s are 4. Understood? First we solved the numbers inside the brackets and then we multiplied it with the outer number. Understood class? First we added and then multiplied the result with 2, which is a here. Coming to RHS, first we will multiply the terms and then add. See, 2 is written outside the bracket, right? 2 is written outside the bracket, which means we have to multiply 2 with both the terms inside the bracket. We should multiply 2 with both the terms inside the bracket, as 2 is written outside the bracket of 3 and 1. As 2 is written outside the bracket of 3 and 1. What will a into b become? 2 into 3. Brackets close. Then we have the addition sign. Then 2 into, we have minus 1 as c. Understood class? As 2 is written outside the bracket, we distribute it among both the numbers inside the bracket. 2 into 3 plus 2 into minus 1. 2 3s are 6 plus 2 1s are 2. Coming to the sign, plus into minus becomes minus. Again 2 different signs. Plus into minus becomes minus. Then we have 2. What is 6 minus 2 equal to? 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. Look here, LHS is equal to RHS. So we can say that the multiplication over addition of integers follows distributive property. A into brackets open b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. Understood class? First we added the terms and then multiplied. In RHS we multiplied the terms and then we added both of them together. In both the cases we got the same answer 4. So we can say that multiplication over addition of integers follows distributive property. Coming to subtraction, again a is equals to 2, b is equals to 3, C is equals to minus 1. Coming to the LHS, 2 into 3 minus, again C is also having a sign of its own. So we'll open the brackets. 3 minus bracket open minus 1. Minus into minus becomes what? Minus into minus becomes plus. 3 plus 1 becomes 4. 2 into 4 becomes 8. Understood? First we should solve the terms inside the brackets. Minus into minus plus, 3 plus 1 4, 2 4s are 8. Clear? Coming to RHS, we'll first multiply and then we are subtracting here because we have the minus sign in between the terms. We are subtracting here. Here we had addition, so we added both the terms. Here we are having subtraction, so we'll subtract both the terms. What is A? A is 2, B is 3. 2 into 3 minus A is 2 and C is minus 1. 2 into minus 1. 2 3s are 6 minus 2 1s are 2. Again the signs plus into minus becomes minus. Brackets, we have to keep the minus 2 inside brackets because 2 has a sign of its own and there is a mathematical operator in front of 2. So we have to keep 2 in brackets. Minus into minus becomes plus. 6 plus 2 becomes what? 6 plus 2 becomes 8. Again LHS is equal to RHS. So we can say that multiplication over subtraction of integers also follows distributive property. Understood class? What did we do here? First we added the terms and multiplied. We checked the answer with multiplication. We considered two scenarios here. First was add and then multiply, and the other was multiply and add. In both the cases we got the same answers. Then we subtracted the terms and multiplied, or we multiplied the terms and subtracted. In this case also we got both same answers. So we can say that multiplication follows distributive property. Multiplication of integers follows distributive property. How is it distribution? A is written outside the brackets. So A is distributed equally for both the terms inside the brackets. If it was A into B plus C minus D. If it was A into brackets open B plus C minus D. How will we write this? We'll write this as A into B. A into B. Then we are having the plus sign, brackets open, A into C. Then we are having the minus sign, A into D. Understood class? Whatever term we are having outside the bracket, we have to distribute it with all the terms inside the bracket. I hope all this was clear. Now we come to the most easy property, identity property. Now what is identity? You all must be having your identity cards, right? Identity cards which are given to you at your schools. What do those identity cards represent? Those cards will tell us what is your name. Cards will have a picture of you. They'll have your father's name, mother's name, class address, phone number, all these, right? Yes. So identity means who you are. Identity card tells who you are. So in the same way, identity means what the number is. When we add a certain number to the given integer, the answer should be the same integer. The identity should not be changed. When we had apples, the result should also be apples. When we add a certain number to apples, the result should also be apples. There should not be any change in the identity of the number. Now how do we do this? We do this by adding 0. When we add 0 to any number, then we get the same number. Additive identity says that the sum of any number and 0 is the given number. Right? If I take two numbers 0 and 1, When I add 0 and 1 together, the answer will be 1 only. The identity of this number is not changed, right? I added 1, I got 1. The identity is not changed. How was this possible? Because I used the number 0 here. I used the number 0 here. So 0 is called as the additive identity. 0 is called what? 0 is called the additive identity. Because when we add 0 to a given number, its identity will not change and it will give us the same number back. We added 1 to 0, so we got the same number 0, right? What about subtraction? When we subtract 0 from a given number, 7 minus 0 gives us what? If I give you 7, if you have 7 chocolates and I take 0 chocolates from you, 0 means what? 0 means nothing. So when you have 7 chocolates and I've taken 0 chocolates from you, which means I have taken no chocolates from you, then what will you have? You will have the same 7 chocolates with you, right? You will have the same 7 chocolates with you. So even in this case, when 0 is subtracted from a given number, the identity is not changed. Let us take a negative number, for example, minus 6 minus 0 is equal to, again, both the numbers, both the signs are same, so we'll add both the numbers. 6 plus 0 is 6 and 6 is the higher absolute value number. It has a negative sign, so the answer will also have a negative sign. Is this clear, class? So even when we add or remove 0 from a given number, the identity is not changed of the number. So 0 is called as the additive identity and the subtraction identity is also 0. Okay? When we add 0 or remove 0 from a given number, we get the same number only. The identity of the number is not changed. The next one is identity property in case of multiplication. If I use the same 0 for multiplication, what will happen? 5 zeros are what? 5 zeros are 0. See, I put the 5 number here, but I got 0 as the answer. The identity is changed. So 0 is not the multiplicative identity. Now what is the multiplicative identity? Multiplicative identity states that the product of any number and 1 is the given number. The product of what? Any number and 1. 1 becomes the multiplicative identity. 1 becomes what? 1 becomes the multiplicative identity. How? When I multiply 1 with any number, it will give me back the same number. 4 ones are what? 4 ones are 4. So I gave the number 4 and it gave me back the number 4 only. The identity is not changed here. So 1 becomes the multiplicative identity. Let us try it with a negative integer. Minus 4 into 1 is equal to what? Again, both signs are different. So the answer will be negative. Coming to the absolute values, 4 ones are 4. Clear? I gave minus 4 and I got minus 4. The identity is not changed because I used 1 to multiply the number. As identity of the number is not changed when multiplied with 1, 1 is the multiplicative identity. Is this clear, class? Product of any number and 1 is the given number only. So 1 is the multiplicative identity. The same 1 becomes the identity in case of division also. When we divide a certain number with 1, we get the same number. There is no change in the number. So 0 is the identity for addition and subtraction. 1 is the identity for multiplication and division. Okay. Identity property states that when we add, subtract, multiply or divide a number, then the answer should also be the given number. When we add or subtract to 0 from a given number, we get the number only. So 0 becomes the identity for addition and subtraction. When we multiply or divide a certain number with 1, we get the same number as the answer. So 1 becomes the identity for multiplication and division. Clear, class? Okay. The next property is inverse property. What does inverse means? Inverse means the reverse. Like for example, here what I did, I put some leaves in the can in this box, and then I removed I removed all those leaves from the box. Okay, when I put and remove the same number of leaves from a box, what will my answer be? The answer will be 0. See, when I put 5 leaves in a box and I taken out all the 5 leaves, now will anything be remaining in that box? No, nothing will be remaining in that box. When I say nothing, which number is used to represent that? The number 0 is used to represent that, right? Yes. Now what is the inverse property? In addition, states that the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. Again, as I use the example of I put 5 leaves in a box and then removed all the 5 leaves. I got 0 as the answer, right? Now this minus 5 here becomes what? This becomes the additive inverse. What is this, class? This becomes the additive inverse. When I add something to the given integer, the answer should be 0. Then it is called as its additive inverse. When let us take the example of minus 6. I should get 0 as the answer. Now what should I add to minus 6 to get 0 as the answer? I should add 6 to minus 6 to get 0 as the answer, right? Now 6 becomes the additive inverse of minus 6. So we can simply say that for a given integer a, its additive inverse is minus a. For a given integer a, its additive inverse is minus a. If we take the positive integer 5, its additive inverse will be minus 5. If we take the negative integer 6, again, what did we say? The additive integer is minus a, right? The additive inverse is minus a. Now, how will we write minus a here? Minus, brackets open, minus 6. Minus 6 is a, right? Now, a is having a sign of its own, and then we are having a negative sign in front of a. So, we put up minus 6 in brackets. Minus of minus 6. Minus into minus becomes plus. Minus into minus becomes plus, and we have the absolute value 6. The additive inverse of minus 6 becomes 6. The additive inverse of 5 becomes minus 5. Now what is the condition that additive inverse should satisfy? When we add a number with its additive inverse, like 5 plus of minus 5, the answer should be 0. Is this correct? 5 plus of minus 5, is it equal to 0? Yes, it is equal to 0. Plus into minus becomes minus, then we have 5. When we subtract 5 from 5, we get the answer 0. So for a given integer a, the additive inverse is minus a, and for a given integer minus a, the additive inverse becomes a. Understood? The reverse. If we have a, then the additive inverse is minus a. If we have minus a, the additive inverse is a. Okay? Okay. The next one is multiplicative inverse. What is the next one? Multiplicative inverse. In multiplication, states that the product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. The multiplicative inverse of the number a is 1 by a. Again, what is he saying here? The product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal. Reciprocal means the reverse. If I say 1, if I have the fraction 1 by 4, the reciprocal will be 4 by 1. Okay? Reverse. Denominator becomes the numerator. Numerator becomes the denominator. Okay, children? Reciprocal means the reverse. Up becomes down. Down becomes up. The product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. Now, if I have an integer which is 5, okay. Now, what will its reciprocal be? What did I say? Numerator becomes denominator. Denominator becomes numerator. You might say, ma'am, this is only a single number. Now, where is the denominator here? The denominator of 5 is 1. Okay, when we divide any number with 1, the answer will be the number itself. 5 by 1 is equal to 5. So, we simply write 5. It doesn't mean that 5 does not have a denominator. 5 has this denominator 1. Okay, 5 has this denominator 1, which we do not write every time because we know 5 divided by 1 is nothing but 5 only. So, when I have the integer 5 with the denominator 1, its reciprocal becomes what? 1 comes to the up and 5 goes down. 1 comes up and 5 goes down. The reciprocal of 5 is 1 by 5. So, when I multiply 5 with its reciprocal 1 by 5, the answer should be what? The answer should be 1. Let us check. Okay, let us check whether the answer is 1 or not. How do we check? Let us multiply the numerators first. 5 into 1 is 5. 1 5s are 5. 5 into 1 is 5. 1 5s are 5. When we divide 5 with 5, 5 1s are 5. Right? When we divide 5 with 5, what is the answer? 5 1s are 5. So, the answer will be 1. Understood? When we have the integer 5 with and multiply it with its reciprocal 1 by 5, the answer will be what? The answer will be 5 into 1 by 1 into 5, which is 5 by 5. As we all know, 5 1s are 5. The answer will be 1. So, this 1 by 5 becomes the multiplicative identity. What does it become, class? It becomes the multiplicative inverse. Sorry, not identity. Multiplicative identity is 1. Multiplicative inverse is 1 by 5. Okay, inverse means reverse. Inverse means the reverse. Whenever a number is given to you, you write the reverse of that number. Numerator becomes the denominator. Denominator becomes the numerator. Okay, class? We'll do the same multiplicative inverse thing with a negative integer as well. Let us consider the negative integer minus 6. Now, what will the inverse of this be? The inverse of minus 6 will be 1 by minus 6. Again, how? Because the denominator of minus 6 is 1. The denominator 1 became the numerator 1 here. The denominator 1 became the numerator 1 here, and the numerator minus 6 became the denominator minus 6. We wrote the inverse of it. How do we solve this? We will multiply the numerators first. Minus 6 into 1 divided by, will multiply the denominators. 1 into minus 6. 6 1s are 6. Coming to the signs, both the signs are different, so the answer will be negative. Again, 1 6 are 6. Both the signs are different, the answer will be negative. Here, we know that 6 1s are 6. Coming to the signs, both the signs are same, so the answer will be positive. And the quotient here we got is 1. 6 1s are 6. Now, what is the answer? We got 1. So, we can say that 1 by minus 6 is the multiplicative inverse of minus 6. Okay, class, clear? The multiplicative inverse of a number is minus 1 by a. What is the not minus 1 by a, sorry, 1 by a. The multiplicative inverse of the number is 1 by a. When we multiply a with its multiplicative inverse 1 by a, we get the answer 1. Okay, when we multiply a with its inverse 1 by a, the answer we get is 1. Okay class, clear? What did we learn about today? We learnt about properties of integers. The first property was, what was the first property? The first property was closure property. Closure property means what? When we added, multiplied or subtracted integers, the answer should also be an integer. Okay, any operation, mathematical operation does not mean the surgery performing. Operation here means the mathematical operators plus, minus, multiply and divide. Okay, when we perform any mathematical operation on integers, the answer should also be an integer. Then it is said to satisfy the closure property. Second one was commutative property. By in commutative property, we have two integers a and b, and when we change the order of the integers, like when a plus b should be equal to b plus a into b should be equal to b into a. So even when we change the order of the integers, the answer should be the same. Coming to the third one, associative property. In associative property, we have three integers a, b and c. In associative property, what do? We change the grouping of the integers. Now look at this equation here. In the first equation, we grouped a and b together. In the second equation, we are grouping b and c together. No matter what the grouping is, the answer should be the same. Like if you are doing too much mischief in the class, what ma'am does? Ma'am changes your place and makes you sit with another group. What will happen? Even though you are made to sit with another group, you will do the same mischief, right? There is no difference in the mischief done. In the same way, even when they change the groups of integers, the answer should be the same. In such cases, we say that it follows associative property. The fourth one was distributive property. In distributive property, what we learned was, when we have three integers a, b and c, the answers of both the equations here should be the same. What are the equations? Whether we add and then multiply or we multiply and then add, the answer should be the same. Then it is said to be following distributive property. The fifth one is identity property. What does identity property mean? When we add 0 to a number, we get the same number. There is no change in the identity of the number. So 0 is called as the additive identity. And we multiply a number with 1, we get the same number as the answer. Again here the identity of the number is not changed. So 1 is called as the additive identity. The last one was inverse property. In inverse property, we had two. One was multiplicative inverse and the other was additive inverse. For a given integer a, minus a becomes the additive inverse, and for a given integer a, 1 by a becomes the multiplicative inverse. How means, when we add both the integer and its multiplicative inverse, the answer should be 0, and when we multiply an integer with its multiplicative inverse, the answer should be 1. Then we say that the reciprocal or the number is its multiplicative inverse. Okay class, I hope this was clear. And today will be our last class of integers. Tomorrow we'll just do a revision of what we have learned in this week, and we'll be having a mock test. Tomorrow we'll be doing will be solving only questions. Okay, will not learn any new concepts. Before going, try this. First statement is 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. Now which property is this statement justifying? 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. Which property is this statement following? Yes, it is following the identity property. Even when we add 0 to 3, the answer we got is 3 only. The identity is not changed. So the statement is following identity property. The second question is 2 into brackets. What did I say? Brackets means multiplication into 2 into 3 minus 5 is equal to 2 into 3 minus 2 into 5. Now which property of integers is justifying this statement? Yes, distributive property, children. See, the 2 is outside the brackets and we are distributing this 2 among both the numbers inside the bracket. 2 into 3, then we are having the minus sign, 2 into 5. Okay, this is distributive property. Coming to the third statement, minus 6 plus minus 7 is equal to minus 7 plus minus 6. Now which property is this? See, the order of the numbers is changed. So this is commutative property. Though the ordering of the numbers is changed, the answer should be the same. So this statement justifies commutative property. The fourth question is 9 plus minus 9 is equal to 0. Now which property is this? This is inverse property. This is inverse property. When we are adding an integer a with its additive inverse minus a, we got the answer as 0. So it is justifying inverse property. 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. The last question, 2 into 3 into 7 is equals to 2 into 3 into 7. Look at this, there are 3 integers here. Don't get confused. There are 3 integers here and we are changing the grouping of integers. Which property is this? This is associative property. The grouping of integers is changed here. Again, as I said, in commutative property we have only 2 integers and in associative property we have 3 integers. Okay, this was associative property. Hope you have understood today's class. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive latest updates.